Welcome, useful content community. I know many of you want to know how to do video without spending much money and you can't afford to buy things that are expensive. So today we're going to talk about how to do videos on a budget. And today I am so happy to have co-hosting with me Nicholas Winter, lead editor and cinematographer at Relate Studios.
Broadcasting live from Relate Studios in Trinidad and Tobago, it's the Useful Content Creation Show with your host, Juma Bannister.
This is the Useful Content Creation Show where business owners and entrepreneurs come to improve the content they create by educating themselves with useful strategies and tactics in marketing, business, and content creation. And for those who are in the comments, remember we are the Useful Content Community. We own the bulb emoji, so you can throw your bulbs up just like that. And don't forget to drop your hashtag UCC Live once you're in the comments. And if you're hearing the replay, don't forget to drop your hashtag UCC Replay. And for those who are from my Facebook group, 140 plus strong, you can drop your hashtag Learn with UCC because we're here to learn new and good things. And today I'm happy to introduce our co-host. And this is an interesting day and a good day. Our co-host, Nicholas Winter. Welcome to the show, Nicholas.
Hi, good night, useful content community. Good night, Juma. Pleased to be here.
Nicholas,
it has been long overdue, but I'm here,
overdue.
Nevertheless.
All right, excellent. Nick, well, for those who don't know, Nick, introduce yourself first. I don't usually allow people to introduce themselves first before we start the conversation, but I think it's important that you do that. Let the people get to know you a little bit. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Okay, I am Nicholas Winter. I work at Relate Studios. I am the lead editor and videographer. I've been working at Relate for over a decade. And what do I like to do? I am married. I have 2 kids. I love family.
You love family. You say that on your profile, which is good. So how did you come to learn video? What was that process like?
So video. I could go back to about, if I could recall, probably around 20. Or maybe 2009. I always had a what do you call it? I don't want to say a niche because it wasn't discovered. I didn't discover it to be a niche until recently. But anyhow, back then I always had a desire for video and editing. I remember just taking videos on my phone and bringing it on. Back then I had a free software. I can't remember. I think it was Windows Movie Maker at that time. And I imported all the files and play around with the editing. And I say, well, wait now, this could be a thing. So it was back then in 2008, I think. Yeah. And then, and then I met Juma and everything took off from there.
Yeah. And Nicholas he's being very modest about this process. But Nick, I don't know if the people know, and most of them may not know, but you did not go to school formally to learn video.
Correct.
How did you learn most of what you know?
So a lot of research, a lot of research. We make this joke, the University of YouTube. But it's real. I guess research asking questions, following people who work I see and like, asking questions, and just research.
Yeah, and a whole lot of
Yeah,
practice, I would
a
figure.
whole lot of practice. Correct.
Yeah.
A whole
All
lot
right,
of
great. Great. That's good to know. Let's see who's in the comments. Hey, it's been a while since you logged in. Who is this? Who is this on Facebook saying it's been a while since they logged in? Who is this person who is oh, something is popping up on my on my phone here. I want to
It's
see
a
who this
blast.
is. It's more of a relaxed day today. So I want to see who is this popping up on my feed and saying it's been a while since they've logged in. Let me see the two comments. Oh, that's Cokes DP. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Andre, thank you for being here. Cooks DP, Andre, thank you for being here. And Yolanda, great to see you, Yolanda. And Allison, great to see you on this evening as well. All right, so today, Nicholas, we're going to talk about doing videos on a budget. This is kind of basic stuff. And the reason we're doing this is because somebody inside of the Facebook group asked about it, that they wanted to, kind of have this topic covered. The problem with this topic is that there are many ways you can do video. There is the I am thinking there are kind of a 3 levels to doing creating video on a budget. And the first level is I'm broke, right? That is, I have absolutely no money to do video. I just need to get some video done. How am I going to do that? The second level is I'm on a budget. That's the level where you could spend some money. You have a little bit of money to spend on video, and you might want to look into how to improve it a little bit. And then the third level is I got some cash to spend, which is somebody who they may have more, they want to do more quality, high quality aesthetically, and they have more money to spend. Unfortunately, we cannot cover all 3 things of those things tonight, and we were going to cover I'm on a budget, but I felt it might be useful if we cover the I'm broke section of video content creation. Because the fact of the matter remains is that most persons who are starting off don't have any money to spend, or they don't want to spend any money. They're just discovering how they can create video for themselves. Do you think that to be true, a true thing, Nicholas?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and being, when we say broke, I would go as far as saying, I mean, you're not, well, there's broke, and then there's I don't have money or spare money to put towards getting anything regarding video.
Right.
So yeah, I believe there are a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah. And inside of the group, the Facebook group I have, I know there are people who want to do video, but they just are really challenged by the fact that they only have a limited amount of resources. And many business owners are putting their resources into running their businesses and not necessarily into creating video content. So we want to give them an opportunity to do that anyway.
Yeah.
All right. And for the purposes of that, right? Hi, Kiran, how are you doing? And hi, let me see. Hi, Kiran, great to see you, learning with UCC. And hi, Chelsea, great to see you as well. Good to have you on with us. Okay, Chelsea from Belize. I always say Chelsea from Belize because, one time I got her name wrong and I was corrected.
Are you sure it's Chelsea?
Yes, I'm sure it's Chelsea. No, Chelsea told me it was Chelsea. So, Chelsea, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I know it's Chelsea now. I pronounced it wrong like twice before, right? UCC Live, like in the chill vibe. Yeah, tonight is a chill evening tonight. So it's gonna be a little chill up in here this evening. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to do things on a budget. So when you're considering creating video content, it's not very, very complex. There are some things that you have to get done, and there are 4 main areas that you want to think about. You know what the first main area is, Nick, when you're thinking about doing your video content? The first thing you have to have.
A camera?
Yes, he's correct. The first thing you have to have is your camera. That's the first thing you have to have. So we're going to address how you can have a camera with no money, right? And the second thing, what's the second important thing in video? Is what else?
Second, I would either go light or audio. I'm
All
not sure.
right. So we're going with audio, right? Second most important. So Nicholas is experienced a videographer, cinematographer, and editor. So these are things he knows naturally. And then, of course, you said lighting. So I think lighting is important. And of course, you want to be able to edit those videos. So editing is also important. So
Correct.
those are the four things. You want to think about your camera, your audio, your lighting, and your editing. Let me run that by you again. These are the four components you want to think about when you start doing video: your camera, your audio, your lighting, and your editing. Four components. Or remember that very strongly. So if you've never done video before and you're thinking about starting video, think about these four things: your camera, audio, lighting, and editing, right? And so we want to talk about how can you have your camera, how can you have your audio, how can you have your lighting, and how can you have your editing if you're broke and you have no money. Now, the sad thing about this scenario is that unfortunately, there's no way to have a camera if you're broke. So we're going to assume what? What are we going to assume, Nick?
You, I think we could assume that you have at least a budget or just enough to get something. I don't know.
Right. Well, we're going to assume that you have, well, we can assume that you have a phone,
A
right?
phone, right?
Right. On the most basic level, we're going to assume that you have a phone. It's kind of obvious, but I want people to know that really all they need to start is their smartphone. And the
Correct.
phone is going to hold a lot of the components of these things if you have no money whatsoever. So we're going to start from the basics, saying that you must have at least a
A phone.
phone to start. Now, you don't have to have a very fancy phone. Um, this phone, I have a phone here. I can literally show that I'm streaming the show on my phone here right now. This is a kind of a more expensive phone. This is an iPhone 13 Pro, right? But you don't need that. This is literally um my mother-in-law's old phone. It is a Samsung. I don't know what kind of Samsung is it even. Is it can it come on? It's not coming on. But you could create something with an old phone like this. This phone can even use you use WhatsApp twice and it's filled up. The memory is filled up. But this phone can even create video content. The camera is terrible, but it can still do something. So you do not need an expensive phone to create video content. You start with whatever you have. And that's the first thing I want people to remember, that
Yeah.
the point is not so much the aesthetics at the beginning. The point is two things: is being able to actually start the process of creating the content, and the other part of it is kind of figuring out the five components that I usually talk about, which is what who you are, who you're talking to, what the content you're making benefit them, and all the other stuff that I usually talk about. But we're not going to talk about that tonight. We're just going to say that you need at least a phone to start, and that phone is going to be your camera, right? Your
Yeah.
camera is your phone. Obvious, but I have to say it to make it clear that you don't need anything fancy. 95% of my videos on TikTok are recorded with my phone, right? Have you ever recorded anything other than your phone for TikTok, Nicholas?
No, everything is recorded on my phone. With the exception though, with other things that are not video but more screen recordings. But yes, everything video wise recording is from the phone.
Right. And so do you think a phone is a good tool to use for people to start off?
Yeah, yes, I agree with that 100%. And yeah, and I think now more than ever, the phones now, the quality of even the lower end smartphones are pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I say
Yeah,
even these in the lower end ones, they're really, very good. Let me look at the comments here. I think people are saying stuff. Iris, good evening. Great to have you on. Hi, Mark. Great to have you on as well.
Mark
Hi,
Raleigh.
Russ. Thank you. How are you doing? And saying content quality is drums video equipment 100%. That is very true.
Right.
Not a lie at all. That is very, very, very true. Right.
Yeah.
And so let's go back and talk a little bit more about that. So the thing you want to start off with is that the camera you have is your phone. And let's talk about the audio now. If you have no money and you have a phone, your audio, the mic is built into your phone as well, right? Your phone as well. So that's what you want to do. You want to use your phone for the camera and your phone for the audio. Now, these things might seem obvious, but I want to reinforce the fact that is what you have to do. So I'm breaking down the barriers to start creating video content. Part of my job is to encourage you to just start doing the stuff, right? We could talk about the quality of content, what makes the content be filled with quality and all those different things. But if you never create the content, the quality doesn't matter because it doesn't exist. So you have to start somewhere and you have to use your available resources to start. Your phone is a good camera. Your phone is a good audio capture device. Even the old ones that are not very good overall comparatively are still good for creating video content.
Yeah, I agree. And also, so one of the things I remember, and I guess I could use my experience as a good example. So back then, I I would not say I was on a budget. I would say I would use the term you're using. I was broke. And the phone I had back then was I can't even remember, but 2008 there weren't really good camera phones. Actually, my parents, I think my dad had a point and shoot camera. Those are those small cameras. It shoots video and stills. And I remember going around and recording videos with that and dumping the files, well, putting the files on the computer and playing with it. And I tell you, the type of, I guess, edit or the end product of what I had was all trial and error. I mean, if I go back now and look back at the videos that I edited back then, I mean, I would be yes, it's good to track and see where you came from, but the point I'm making is you have to start somewhere. Whether it's a phone, I mean, yes, we say in phone, but even if you have a low end camera per se, you could even pick up that and go. But ideally, yes, start with your phone, and that is the place where you learn through trial and error. Don't expect your videos to be polished. Don't expect it to be 100%. I mean, what you call that? 100% Hollywood looking or anything like that. But just focus on the basics and the fundamental things, and yeah, you'll just get better from there.
Agreed. And I totally forget that. I think some people may have old cameras sitting around the house, old point and shoot cameras. The reason we don't use those things anymore is because the phone has everything in it. But who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Some of those things might still be useful if you have a point and shoot camera. Nobody takes those things anymore. They're very, very cheap these days. People might have them just collecting dust. Who knows? You might be able to take one of those cameras and create content with them as well. That might be a thing. Getting an old cheap point and shoot camera that is like something that people don't use anymore because it's highly inconvenient to carry a point and shoot camera and to have your phone as well. Nobody wants to carry two devices that could capture video. And so people have stopped using them. So maybe you can get one cheap from a friend who maybe has one to throw away or has one that's just collecting dust there for a couple of years. As like, I'm not using this. So I would say ask around, see who has a point and shoot camera that they're not using and could probably give you, as we say in Trinidad and Tobago, a bly for use of it. Right? So whatever camera you can get your hands on, use that.
Yeah.
All right. So the third thing we're going to talk about is the lighting. Now, lighting is a big deal. Lighting is a big thing. How should someone with no money deal with lighting, Nicholas? How do you think?
I would say use the light that's around you. Go by a window. Go use. I mean, there are many ways to go with to do video without buying lighting. Use the sun. Use the natural light.
Yes, that is true. And I would say, just like you said, if you want to light yourself with no budget, you're going to have to open that window, and let the light in. Now, there are different ways you could use that. Your window acts as a big, what we call a soft box. I have a video that explains how that works. Essentially, when the sun shines onto the earth, the light bounces all over the place and it comes into your window already diffused. So you get nice soft light coming to your window, and you can make it even softer and even nicer by putting up these clear or these sheer curtains, white curtains, and let the light shine through it, and it gives you even bigger, even more beautiful light. Because the bigger the light source, the softer the light. The bigger the light source, the softer the light. And shooting videos in front of a window is one of the nicest types of light you can get. We use it for photography for many years, and shooting in front of the window for video works very well as well. So if you have no budget whatsoever, use the window light. This is a back to basics type of video this month, type of live show this week. If you have no budget for lighting, use the window light. But you know something? There are pros and cons to using window lights. The pros is that it's free. And what do you think the cons are?
It's limited.
Limited in what way you think?
It's not there for 24 hours.
Correct. It's not there for 24 hours. You can only shoot videos during the day. Yeah. Or you can only shoot videos when it's not raining, right? And so that's the limitation with using window light or using natural sunlight. You can only shoot during the time that it is available. So like how we have this live stream right now, you couldn't be on this live stream if your light was video light, because we're here at night, right? Yeah. Nicholas has lighting going on by him. I have lighting going on by me. I have several lights around me. Nicholas several lights by him. And we are being lit by artificial light. But if you're using free light, which is sunlight in the window, you are limited to shoot during the daytime only. And that may not be useful to everyone. It may be a bad thing for some people. So that's something to consider. If you have no money, no budget, shoot all of your videos during the day. That might work for a while, but eventually you might want to have a situation where you save and you set up some budget to buy a small light, which we will talk about in another video when we're talking about really using some budget to get some lighting. That's a deep subject. We'll go into that another time. All right. So we have covered the phone, right? We covered the camera, which is on your phone. We've covered the...
Before you move on, you know, you did a video, I can't remember if it's TikTok or LinkedIn. It was showing you how to use your computer screen as a light source. Well, this is for night. So we just described that we don't have lights 24 hours a day. But if we were to use lights in the night, one of the ways we could use it is put a white, I mean, you could go on YouTube, get a long video that with just a plain white background, or you could change your wallpaper, your desktop screensaver, wallpaper to a white background, and just raise the the brightness to 100.
Right.
Or between 75 and 100, and you have not natural, you have a good light source.
Oh, good night light. It's true. It's true. That is very true. And the way you can do it is by going onto YouTube and doing a search for 10 hours of a white screen. Right, 10 hours of white screen, and then you just full screen that video and you put it on the brightest, and you could use that to light your face. I've done that in the past and it works. I actually have 2 videos like that, 2 videos showing how to do that. And if you're each piece of my light, light makes a difference. Most people do not need a new camera, they just need better light. Let me explain. Phones are incredible little devices, but they have an Achilles heel. Generally, a phone sensor is pretty tiny, so it's not very good at capturing light. And so you get the best results from your phone when there is a lot of light. And this is precisely why my videos look the way they do. I pay attention to the light. But if you still don't believe me, let me demonstrate. See how much worse this looks? I didn't change anything but the light. the light bulb above me is the only thing illuminating my face right now. And that's problematic because it's casting shadows beneath my eyes and beneath my chin, and it's just making me look not as good as the other light. Plus, my phone is struggling to keep up with the lack of light, and so the image gets grainier. My logo still slaps though. But for real, tell me what you prefer. You prefer what's going on here right now, or you prefer this? You see? And if I've proven my point and you feel like this lighting is better, give me a follow to show your appreciation. And that's just I had a video queued up from before, but yeah, lighting is very, very important. So if you do not have the money to do your lighting in a way that is like artificial light, then you could go ahead and light yourself with the window. All right, so let's get to the juicy part of the day today, right? The juicy part of the day today. Let's talk about editing. Editing on for free is probably the best part of this whole deal. Why is editing the best part of this whole deal? Is because there are so many different options for editing, right? There's so many different options for editing. Check this out. So these are the apps that I think are the best apps that are free. So first of all, we have CapCut, which you can download. That is available for download for free. And CapCut is a very, very powerful application. You can do transitions. You can even apply your music. You can apply captions. All of these video editors, except Video Leap here, you can apply caption. VN Editor is very, very close to CapCut. Have you ever used CapCut, Nicholas?
No, never used CapCut. But I actually, yes. Yeah. I used CapCut in the past.
Right. And CapCut is one type of editor you can get. It's free, 100% free. So if you're broke, you can definitely download that. VN Video Editor is almost the same as CapCut. It's almost like the company look at each other's blueprints and made the same application, except that VN Editor, it works a little bit different. And in VN Editor, you can really go into editing really deeply. You can apply something called a LUT to make sure your video looks really, really great. And then for free, there's also an application called Video Leap. Video Leap has its limitations, but it's still a good free application. And then if you are doing short videos that you need to put captions on, you can use Apple Clips, right? You can use Apple Clips. So these are the 4 applications I would recommend that are free.
Yeah.
CapCut, right? Download it now and use it. Learn to edit in it. VN Video Editor, it's 100% free. Download it, use it now. Very, very powerful. Video Leap, that is also free. You can edit in it. There are some limitations, and there's also a paid version. And then there is Apple Clips for those who have iPhones. And I like Apple Clips because it's very simple to use, and it automatically gives you subtitles when you create your videos, right?
Yeah.
It's very important that
I think it's worth saying that all these apps are mobile.
Well, all of these apps are mobile apps, right? All of these apps are mobile apps, right? And so those are the 4 things. So we've covered camera, audio, lighting, and editing. Let's go over the list again. So for your camera, obviously you have your phone. It's quite obvious, but sometimes people think they have nothing when they have a phone. And Nicholas also suggested that if you have an old point and shoot that you can use to record videos and then edit on your computer, that is also something that you can do. For the audio, you're going to have to use a mic on your phone. If you have no money, we're not talking about budget. In this show, on the other show, we'll talk about what you can do if you have a tiny budget and you want to get a microphone. But if you don't have a budget at all, you can just simply use the mic that is built into your camera. And for lighting, you're going to need the natural light, the sunlight, using a window. The only bad thing about that is that you're going to have to do it during the daytime because there's no light at night. Nicholas also suggested that you could use your computer screen to light your face if you have one of those. And for editing, which I think is the best part of having free stuff, is CapCut. You can download CapCut. This is a mobile app. You can use that to edit on your phone. VN Video Editor, also a very excellent video editing program. You can use that to edit on your phone. Video Leap, as well as Apple Clips.
I saw TikTok updated the editing tool section as well. You know? I mean, you could probably use that. I don't want to discourage posting, but if you want to use it for just editing and don't don't upload, but you could you download the videos before, like download drafts?
I'm not sure. I think you can. If you
No.
you could actually post it privately.
Right.
You could post the video, but only for yourself on TikTok, and from that you could download it.
Aye, but you know what? You're getting the banner, the
No,
watermark.
no. Once it's posted privately, you can go into Snaptic online with the
Right.
URL, and you can download it. So you can use Snaptic to download your privately posted TikTok video. Nicholas is right. TikTok's editor has been updated to have timelines and a sort of different
Yeah, yeah.
fancy stuff you can put in the audio and cut the audio now. So TikTok in itself has become a video editor, and I think it's very, very. I think it's very like wise of them to do that, to build in your video editor into the application, right? Just now you'll have to Instagram will want to do that, to build in a video editor into the application. So TikTok is moving, so they have an all-in-one platform, creator tools that you can use, and you do everything that you want to do all in one. All right, so before we go into the other segment, I want to give you all some quick video tips. And Nicholas, you'll tell me if you like these video tips or not. Let me I have to change the screen layout for this. So quick video tip number 1. Remember, always clean your camera lens before recording for clean, crisp video. Always clean your camera lens before recording.
Agreed.
Agreed with that, yes. You know how many times I see people's videos and the video is cloudy and the video is not clear, and all they had to do is just wipe the camera, literally take their shirt like so and just wipe the lens off the bottom of the shirt like that, wipe the lens off, and it will change the way your video looks. Just wipe it off. Big difference. And it will save the quality of so many videos if people just take their shirt, the color, and they might want to do some of this going on here. Might want to do some of this. And you can imagine, the other day I was taking a picture for a group of people, right? And they gave me their phones to take a picture of them. And when I looked through the camera, it was cloudy. I took my shirt and I wiped it off. One of the guys in the portrait who was standing for me to take the picture said, "That is a photographer. He know to clean the lens," which I found to be so funny. So always clean your camera lens before recording for clean, crisp video. It will improve the quality of your video. Trust me. Take my advice and clean the quality of your video. Anything to add to that, Nick?
No. I think this is a good tip because we tend to. This is something that we don't think about every day. But yeah, so for me now, it has become a default. Anytime I take out my phone, I clean my lens. I may not be taking a picture, but I clean my lens, and it just became, it's just habit now. But yeah, I like this. I like this tip.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Next in line, we have quick video tip number 2. Right. Remember, when you record, look at the camera and not your face. Right. Look at the camera. Nicholas has been looking at his face the whole show. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. My face is across here. This is the camera here. So if I look here for the entire show, I'm not making eye contact. But if I'm here,
guys,
right, I'm making eye contact. I'm talking to the people out there. I'm talking to Nicholas. I'm making eye contact. Many people make the mistake of recording video and looking at themselves in the camera and not looking at the actual camera itself. Looking at themselves on the screen and not looking at the camera. Let me give you an example of that. So how you could do it, the way in which. So this is me here. I'm on the camera.
Yeah.
Right. This is me.
That comes with training. I think people like to see themselves.
Right.
They may be self-conscious.
So instead of looking, I don't know if this is seen. This is on the stream right now. Instead of small, right? Instead of looking at yourself here, you look at the camera, right? It's important that you do that so that you get connection with the people who you're talking to. Always remember, look at the camera up there at the very top and not your face. Important. All right. Video tip Number 3, remember, when you record, hold your phone at eye level. Hold your phone at eye level. Let me see. Let me show you. Can you do that? Let me take this off for a second. Let me remove this for a second and let's show. When you record, hold your phone at eye level,
Well, yeah,
right? At the level of
really
your
see it,
eyes,
but it's
right?
eye level.
Hold your phone at eye level. Don't look down and record. Don't look down like this and record. Down with your phone down here. And say, yeah, people, today I want to talk to you about how to plant your garden and to get lots of fruit.
Nostrils.
How what?
Nostrils.
Yeah, you're gonna see up into your nostrils. You're gonna see up into your nostrils. People make that mistake all the time. They're looking down at their phone and everybody's seeing in the roof of your mouth and seeing into your nostrils. And I'll hold the phone at eye level. It would improve the quality of your video almost immediately. You'll be looking into the camera at eye level at the people who you're talking to. So always remember, when you record, hold your phone at eye level. Don't look down. Very important to remember. All right. Let me see who's in the comments here. Hey, KG, what's up, man? Good to see you. And hey, Decalicious, Trickalicious, Sweetalicious. Hey, KG, good to see you, man. Good to see you.
KJ.
And of course, Decalicious,
Oh,
etc., etc. You
I
thought I
actually
was
thought you
making
were
that up,
joking.
right? I wasn't joking at
Decalicious,
all.
trickaliciously,
Yes.
superlicious.
Good evening. Good to see you as well.
Good
So
evening.
hold your phone at eye level. And the last tip I'll give you all before we go into the other segment is something that is related to using the sun as your light. Is remember, when shooting in direct sunlight, use your clouds. Use clouds for beautiful, soft light. So let me explain something to you on how light works, right? The sun is even though it's very, very powerful and is very, very large, it's very far away. So the sun in actuality is a tiny light source. It's a very powerful, but it's very far away. So it's a tiny light source. A tiny light source gives you hard light. So you'll find that when you in the midday
Looks like that.
sun, you will find that there's shadows under your eyes. Let me show you what that looks like. Right. So this is a tiny light source, this one here. If I shine this over my head, you will find that there is shadows beneath my eyes. Let me take this off. Let me take this off so you can see. You'll find that, and let me use this here. You'll find that there are shadows beneath my eyes. Maybe I could even make this even worse. Let me see. Let me change the thing so you can see. You'll find that there are shadows beneath my eyes and beneath my nose. And that's what a tiny light source does. It's a hard light source, you see? And you'll find that below here is very hard. And you'll get raccoon eyes because the shadows are in your eyes like this. So when you have a hard light source, that is what it does. A tiny hard light source, that is what happens. Right? So if you're using a light source like that, it will look bad. When the light goes behind the clouds act as a light modifier. It scatters the light and it makes the light source soft. So that if you are filming outside during the daytime, right, always try to wait for the behind a cloud, or if there is a tree, film under a tree that breaks up the light so that you don't get direct light on to you. Use the clouds as a light modifier. Use the cloud as something that the light will shine through. For example, I can take this receipt here, and if I take this flashlight and I shine it through, I bounce it off. See how nice it looks on my face? Let me show you what this is. Let me show you how that looks, right? Let me demonstrate for y'all how that looks. All right, look at this. Check this out. See?
Much better.
Now this is bouncing off the receipt, right? It's just a paper receipt, and it looks much, much, much better, right? It's bouncing off onto my face. It looks unless if I shine it like this is different. When I bounce it off, it's like a cloud. It really lights up my face nicely. So if you have an interface to go between you and the hard light, it makes the light look much, much better.
Yeah. And also different times, different shadows, different casts. 12 o'clock is not really ideal for outdoor lights. How would you say, Juma? How could we solve that? What is a good workaround? 12 o'clock midday sun that is directly over your head.
Well, you definitely have to go in the shade. If
Right.
you go outside you're outside during 12 o'clock light and there is light streaming down and is you definitely have to go in the shade. More than likely there's enough light in the area
Yeah.
to illuminate your face even though you are in the shade, if it's 12 o'clock, if it's hot sun. If not, find yourself indoors, go by a window, and you'll get the most beautiful light ever. Right? You'll get the most beautiful light ever. All right, very, very important to know. All right, so I think that is great. I think we would have covered how to start making videos with no money whatsoever. We spoke about having light. We spoke about, and today was a very, very basic. Normally we go deep into things. Today was very basic. We spoke about camera. We spoke about audio. We spoke about editing, and we spoke about lighting. And if you have no money whatsoever, you want to use your phone as a camera, it should be obvious, but some people think that they don't have anything. You have to, for your audio, you have to use your on-camera microphone, right, on the phone. And for lighting, you want to use something like a window, or you may want to go outside under the sun with some clouds, and you get nice soft light. And then if you want to do some editing, these are the pieces of editing software we recommend. We recommend CapCut. We recommend VN Video Editor, Video Leap, and Apple Clips as some of the editing software you can use. All right, I hope that was useful for everybody. Very, very basic session this week. But what we'll do now, we'll jump into the agree, disagree segment with Nicholas Winter, and we'll do that and have some fun before we sign off for the night. So Nicholas, let's jump into agree, disagree. All right, this is Agree, Disagree with Nicholas Winter of Relate Studios, the lead editor and cinematographer at Relate Studios. Nicholas, you know how this goes. I'm going to make some statements that you can either agree or disagree with. These statements are not reflective of what I agree or disagree with. These are general statements. Hopefully, some of them might pertain personally to you. I don't think I have any personal ones here this week.
Agree.
Yeah, agree. The fact of the matter is that you and I were out all day on a shoot, right? And we were trying to set up for this thing, and we had little time, and it was so it's good. So I realized that your kids are like, Daddy on a live stream. Let me go and call him out.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Yeah,
No, she's all right.
The kids are great.
Yeah.
All right, so agree, disagree, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Passion before skill.
Agree.
Agree? Why?
You could learn skill. You can't really. I mean, passion could. Yeah, you could learn skill, but passion, it has to come from a place of passion.
Would you say you had a passion for video before you learned the skill?
Definitely had a passion. Yeah, the skill was taught and learned. Yeah, I had a passion.
Yeah, you definitely did learn the thing thereafter, because you kind of were not skilled at the beginning. Nobody is at the beginning. I wasn't skilled at the beginning.
I wasn't skilled at all.
All right. Agree, disagree. Most of what's supposed to be of what you can learn with video can be completely done on your own.
Agreed. University of YouTube, University of Google, and also find yourself in a community. Something like the useful content. Shameless
What?
plug there.
We're getting shameless plugs and things, boy.
No, but I agree. But I must add, probably don't have to, but I must add, don't let that be an excuse to not go and learn the skill, or learn the stuff that you learn in whether it's via school, academia, or whatever. But what I would say is also the flip side, don't allow that to stop you from learning. If you don't have whether it's access, or you might see yourself as maybe maybe I can't go to school, or I'm too old for that, or I don't think I'm smart, I don't think, you could either go that way, school, or you could go the way of researching. Most of all, the most what I'm getting at is development. It starts with you actually going out there and researching, and you need the passion, yes, but go out there and go after it. That's what I would say.
Right. Okay, that's true. Yeah, you definitely need to do something to actually put your hands in it. I call it putting your hands in it and seeing what it feels like.
Yeah,
You know, you definitely need to go actually do something. If you don't do anything, nothing will happen. Right?
correct.
Yeah. And that is true for if you want to do it as a career or if you already have a business and you want to try it out. Both things apply, right? All right.
Yeah,
Agree, disagree. Well, of course, a phone is all you need when you first start video.
agreed.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I think
Agreed. Agreed.
that is.
Agreed.
I'll just put that in to reinforce the fact that if you're starting video, really a phone is all you need. Now, I am a big advocate for knowing who you are, knowing who you serve, knowing how they benefit from what you share, knowing your goals. I'm a big benefit for all of those different things. But if you want to start off, a phone is all you really need to get started. Basic stuff
Correct.
this week, a phone is all you really need to get started, right? So
Agreed.
that is a no budget. You own a smartphone already. It's in your pocket. Time to do some video, right? Agree, disagree. I want to see what you think about this. Agree, disagree. Natural light is the best light for video.
um
Hmm.
no, I'm kind of in between the line. I'm kind of on the line, I should say.
Right.
Natural light is the best light for video. No, but yes. All right. So the reason why I say no is because wait, is this based solely on a budget, broke, no money, or is this just a general?
As a general question.
Oh well, no. Natural light, because you could, if you have the budget, if you have the equipment, you could manipulate studio lights to do things that the natural lights can do,
Yeah.
cannot do.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's
I
true.
don't
It's
disagree.
true. Disagree. Great. I'm glad I disagreed one. So I disagree with that too. I just put it in there just to make a point. So let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. So this is my studio space here. And I don't usually you don't usually get to see this because the window is very close. So this is the let me take off all the lights so y'all can see. There's my red light off. This is my thing light off here. So immediately it's like a black hole behind me. It takes all of the energy out of the back of the thing. Let me do even more. Let me do even more. Look at this. That's my main light. That's my key light, right? So I just took that off as well, right? So this is what we have. Let me do even more. There's a light in the room that's on. Let me go take that off. Now, honestly, that's so jokey. Honestly, this is my teeth. I can come to the computer screen and you can see me a little bit. Right? So all you're seeing is this. And let me take the bulb off in the back. So all of the light I have in this room was artificial light. All the light I had in this room was artificial light, right? So if I want to, let me bring the lights back in one by one. Let me bring the lights back in. I'll put the room light on first. All right, so I put the light in the room on. So I'm going to put the light in the background on that side. I'm going to put that one on, right?
Waiting on you.
You're waiting on me? All right, so I'll put this light back on. So you see the blue light in the background. It's kind of purpley, right? Now I'm going to put my bulb back on. So the bulb is back on. I'm building back up the light. And I'm going to put this light back on here. So now you're seeing that. And finally, I'm going to put my main light back on here. And now I'm back to life.
Woohoo!
You cannot do that with natural light. But if you have no budget, use natural light, right? Nicholas did this. Excuse me. Nicholas did the same thing I did.
Yeah.
Right.
And mind you, my setup is the same setup that Juma described a while with the computer screen.
Yes, he's lighting. You're
Just for the
lighting yourself
record.
with a computer screen, right?
Yeah.
So that's how the natural light could work versus the artificial light. See, so having artificial light gives you a lot more flexibility, and if you could do that, ultimately in your studio or in whatever space you're in, it ends up being a lot better. All right, and lastly, in agree disagree, let me bring us back up. Agree disagree. On social media, you grow more from doing rather than consuming.
On social media, you grow more from doing rather than consuming. Yes, I agree.
Why? That's a question I ask everyone, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I guess doing, so the way I understand it is engaging with social media. So I mean, you could grow to an extent from consuming, which is you're learning, you're receiving everything. But if you don't, and when you say grow, when you say doing, do you mean doing on social media or just taking what you learn and going out into the field and doing?
Well, yeah, I seen somebody pull your gel.
That was me.
Your gel fall off. Anyway, yeah, it could be either one. It could be doing by posting stuff on social media, or it could be doing by going off and doing it for yourself.
All right, yeah, well, that definitely. Yeah. You grow more from doing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let me look at the comments now real quick. So Ikechi was just something we said he was laughing at it. I'm not sure. And then Chelsea was saying, you said this was a basic show tonight, but a very key discussion here about the 4 basics to get started. I've seen good reviews about CapCut Video Editor. Yes, CapCut is very, very good. And Ikechi saying CapCut is fantastic. Yes, it is very, very fantastic. Excellent. All right, everyone. It was so great to see you all this evening on the Useful Content Creation Show with my co-host. Nicholas is not a guest. Nicholas lives here. He's part of Relate, so he's my co-host this evening. Thank you all so much for turning up. Nicholas, do you want to say anything about before you go?
Thanks, guys. I'm learning my tip number 3 to look into the lens when I'm talking. And yeah, no, tonight was great. I enjoyed it.
Excellent. And if you want to learn more about us, you can go to relatestudios.com. We're plugging ourselves this evening, and you can also follow Nicholas and myself on LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn I think this is me on my socials here, and you can also follow the company if you like that, and that should be fine. And for those who want to know, you can join the Useful Content community as well. Go across there, and it should be a good time across there as well. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good evening. Have a good evening. Was that? Yes. Have a good evening, everybody. And we'll see you soon once again on the Useful Content Creation Show. Bye, everyone.